Bonjour, Monsieur de Madame.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, the Academy of Medicine, the Foundation of Medicine, French Academy of Medicine, for welcoming us and hosting us in this very prestigious and very historic venue, which we are delighted to be here this morning. Professor Pr Mahesh, President, Academy of Medicine, Mr. Jean-Marie True, President of the Foundation of the Academy of Medicine, ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Nikitenko, we met last night, representative of the Ministry of Health, France, and Mr. Manish Prabhat, representative of the Ambassador of India in France. It is indeed a very welcome progress from 1 year on in the mutual collaborative foundation which is being laid in 21st century. Since this joint meeting is focusing on the health and medical innovation, I thought it is prudent at this point to also make you aware that what more can be done besides what we are going to talk today and tomorrow, and that's why I put up this presentation which I'll take you through quickly. With the new government coming in 2014, there has been focus from our Prime Minister on Make in India. And in the process, we are now focusing on frugal healthcare innovation, and which we started about 10 years ago with the Stanford University, USA, which is now known as a School of International Biodesign. And that is what I want to make you little aware, so that we can have some fellows coming from France as well. I bring greetings from All India Institute, Delhi. If you look at the Indian healthcare today, the government spending is very low, which we are all asking that it should go up. There is large economic disparity in population, low investment in capacity building, infrastructure and human capital, and there is a natural urban and rural disparity. Government role is provider and also payer to large extent for at least those who cannot afford and have access to expensive private health care. So that is where we then try to understand how the Indian medtech industry today, it has been there for a long time, but it is perceived as a low technology. The high technology is dominated by foreign players. If we compare India and France, the population, as you know, we have large population. Life expectancy in France is almost 20 years more than what India has. Infant mortality, if you look at expenditure of per capita, the hospital, number of hospitals according to population, beds per thousand, physicians per thousand, and nurses per thousand, actually the France is much better, and France is considered to be one of the best healthcare system globally. If we look at the cause of death, top 3 causes of death in India and France, cardiovascular is for India and France both. But we still have a lot of infections problem in children as well as in adults, and also respiratory diseases. While in France, when I looked at the top 3 causes of death, they are, besides heart disease, they are the mental health illnesses and also a stroke. Indian healthcare still is dealing with malnutrition, as I mentioned, infectious diseases and emerging infections like what we are going to discuss, the dengue, chikungunya, Zika, etc. And then naturally, if that was not enough, we are now grappling with a huge burden of lifestyle-related disorders. And if you look at the numbers are huge because population is huge. Almost 39 million people fall back below poverty line because of health-related expenses, and this reason is both prevalent in urban and rural India. Now what we say that 80% of our population is competing for 20% public health care system because the price of imported technology is a major concern, limited capital for high-risk ideas, regulatory and IP changes good but slow to move, and there are limited facilities for product testing, validation, and accreditation where we can leverage your expertise in India. Our strengths are, we have large population, so there is a huge, large unmet need, so there is a huge opportunity. Large engineering pool we have, and also information technology industry is growing at a very rapid pace and is very robust. Educational institutions are large in numbers, and there is a natural innovative mindset. Existence of industry examples that can be benchmarked with best global expectations. Positive changes in India which have taken place over last 2 decades or more, the greater belief in ourselves, regulation being implemented considering global experience and industry inputs, growing IP awareness and protection which was non-existent some time ago, innovation hubs being nurtured like the SIB, School of International Biodesign, IITs and other institutions, and government has realized the relevance of this industry. And there is a well-led industry bodies like CII and FICCI which work very closely with all stakeholders towards national interest. So what School of International Biodesign thinks and its philosophy is global, affordable, need-based development of healthcare innovations, which can be acronym as Gandhi. So we identify the need in India, invent with India and implement globally, and that is something where France, the lot of expertise from France can help us. The focus of SIB is that more for less for more. Basically is the low cost innovations. To become the epicenter of frugal medical technology innovation, to train people in medtech innovation on biodesign process, to innovate for unmet clinical needs, focus on developing countries. So what the biodesign process which we follow at this School of International Biodesign is that the fellows identify the needs, and then the needs are screened, and then we invent. There is a concept generation, there is a concept selection, and then development and strategy planning for implementation. And that is where the role of industry comes in. This I fellowship which we call Year 1, and that is where I would welcome through Foundation and also French Academy of Medicine, the fellows. We have fellows from Australia, we have fellows from Japan, we have fellows from Singapore, we have fellows from UK and other European countries like Netherlands. So we feel that there is a space between us, AIMS and FAM, to have some fellows, young fellows coming in and working in team, and that's what this fellowship is all about. So like for example, if a fellow joined in January 2015, he goes into clinical immersion in the doctors working in the hospital of AIMS, and then concept selection based on the needs which he or she come across, and then presentation at MedTech Summit, which takes place generally in December 1st week. Year 2, which is flexible, the industry externship, 3 to 6 months visit to partner institution, which could be for a mutual convenient basis, and then clinical testing in the patient with ethical clearance, and also business plan, competition, acceleration, funding has to be secured, and licensing. And the fellows then graduate in MedTech Summit following the second year in December. So those who join in 2015 will graduate in December 2016. Frugal innovation, which is pioneered in the East, and that has been the, basically, that in 80s, most of this was in developed economies. And the emerging economies were getting after the product was developed. In 90s, export-led innovation happened also in the emerging economies. And then in 2000 onwards, end-to-end, there was some development in the emerging economies, and also it was used in these countries. But now is the time in 21st century that we need to build this relationship so that we develop jointly, innovate jointly, develop jointly, and then implement globally. I think that is where we need to work very, very closely. With these frugal innovations in healthcare, we have been able to, not this SIB, but in India, like ECG machine, nano car, these are just the examples, the Akash tablet, PC, ambulance, they have intraocular lenses, and many other devices. By using this concept of frugal Gandhian innovation, we need to get innovation right, develop a deep commitment to serving the unserved, and also articulate and embrace a clear vision, set very ambitious goals to foster an entrepreneurship spirit. There will be constraints, which always will be there, but we need to overcome those constraints, and if we need to focus on the people, not just the shareholder and the profits. Frugal is not necessarily cheap, it is a standard, and that is where we need to work hard. The results at SIB Fellows, we have so far had 29 fellows and 59 interns. There have been development of 24 different devices, 6 products in clinical trials. There is 40 patents have been filed, and 8 preclinical testing application has been done, and 18 trademarks have been filed, 14 technology transfers, and 6 startups have taken place through this SIB project. In patient, 1 product commercially launched, 1 product is US FDA approved as well, and programs, there are 8 medical technology summits and 8 workshops and maybe 9 so far at the national and international level. This is one device which has been US FDA approved now. It's in use, it is commercially produced, a new standard care for management of fecal incontinence, which is a huge problem in all nations. And this is disposable splint manufactured through card box, and this is disposable and can be used by pre-hospital care providers when they are transporting the patients, and it is also being commercially produced. This is an intraosseous device which has been developed through SIB. This is a soft tissue biopsy device which has been commercialized, and again this is the NeoBreathe which for the children, and also CPR device under development. This is a assistive device for nasogastric tube deployment in patients with neurological dysphagia. This is how it is used. This is fetal monitoring device at a low cost, has been developed. And also the handheld like smart devices with software development. In India, the progress has started, and we want to look towards collaborating with all of you to take this further in this century, and it cannot be a better time than now. India and France are committed towards fight against enemies of humanity, and it happened, and the lot of media coverage about the visit of President Hollande early this year, where it was termed as France and India are natural allies, and we are made for each other to work together. We welcome if anyone of the French Academy representative would like to come in this MedTech Summit just to know what is happening. This is, I think, on 2nd and 3rd December, if I remember. So that it is taking place, and then we can move forward from there. So thank you all very much for your attention, and we look forward for a long-term relationship with France and French Academy of Medicine in this direction. Thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup, Professeur Misra.